Welcome to the Golden Seams, where we, Gabe and Michelle, your hosts, invite you to join us on a transformative journey of self-discovery and personal growth. Our podcast is all about helping you uncover your authentic self, find your true calling, and create prosperity in alignment with your deepest values and aspirations.
We're embarking on the realm of self-love and self-worth.
Prepare to be captivated by Joe, an extraordinary psychic medium hailing from the UK. Joe's unique blend of talents promises to take our exploration of self-discovery to otherworldly heights. In a truly unique offering, Joe will introduce us to the fascinating world of quantum jumping. She'll explain how delving into our soul's various journeys can shed light on our current experiences, helping us overcome deep-seated patterns, advance our personal growth, and amplifying our unique gifts. This extraordinary exploration offers profound insights into tapping into our already developed skills, empowering us to embrace self-love and cultivate self-worth in our present lives. By understanding the wisdom gleaned from alternate experiences that vibrationally match our individual souls, we'll discover how to live more wholeheartedly, accepting our authentic selves with compassion and courage. Join us for this unforgettable journey of self-discovery, where the keys to living a more fulfilling life may lie in the secrets of our soul's journeys, guiding us towards a future brimming with self-acceptance and purpose.
Joe, welcome to the Golden Seams, and thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for joining us, Joe.
Thank you.
We're excited to have you here talking with us about quantum jumping. And I'd like to start by asking, how would you define quantum jumping in simple terms for someone who's unfamiliar with it?
The way that I would describe quantum jumping is that we all have alternative lives running at the same time as this one. And in some of those lives, we are hugely successful business people. In other lives, we're musicians. In other lives, we could be artists. So we all have these alternate lives out there in the quantum. Quantum jumping literally means jumping into one of those lives. So I take you into that life, jump you into that life. You can meet you as that successful business person. I get you to have a conversation with yourself and find out all the information, how they got there, what they did, what courses did they do, did they go to university, all those things. And then you can bring all that information back and use it to help you in this life.
Wow. Can you tell us about what inspired you to start practicing quantum jumping?
A good few years ago, I just happened to come across quantum jumping by someone called Bert Goldman. He had done loads of videos about it. He was an incredible guy, and I really went into his story, and he quantum jumped himself and brought back skills. For example, he learnt to play the piano from quantum jumping. He brought that skill back and could play the piano. He also learned how to paint. So he was a really successful artist. After doing that, he learned photography. He'd done this thing with taking photos that no one had done, and he brought that back and done it, and he pioneered this particular technique. He was just so incredible. I saw him and I was like, oh my God, I need to try this. Going before then, way back to when I was a child, I loved that TV show, Quantum Jumping? That TV show where he was a character and he would jump into different lives and be a different character. As a child, I was really interested in that. And then when I saw Bert as an adult, I was like, I've got to do this. This is incredible.
That's amazing. So let's talk about how quantum physics relates to the concept of quantum jumping just briefly. Quantum jumping is a technique inspired by quantum physics principles where a person experiences through deep meditation or hypnosis jumping into a version of themselves from an alternate reality or future, just like you were saying. Like in quantum physics, where particles can suddenly shift between states, this concept uses the idea that multiple possibilities for your life exist simultaneously, multiple timelines, lifetimes, parallel realities. what types of specific things have you brought back either for yourself or for your clients in relation to that, or what experiences can you share with us?
For myself, I have gone into lives where I've done successful things. The other thing that I do is past life regression, jumped into a quantum life where I was doing that and brought back some ideas about how I can progress with that, brought that back here. And I'm sure that's something we can talk about a bit later. That's really helped me form what I want to do with my own business with doing past life regression. I have taken a memorable one is I had this client. She actually trained to be a hypnotherapist, but she was struggling to find not her niche. She wanted to work with successful business people, but she was struggling to find clients altogether. She had this narrative of how can I work with successful people when I can't even be successful doing this myself? So we done some quantum jumping with her, and she jumped into a life where she ran a very successful business. And when she went into that life, she not only ran programs, which is something she hadn't thought about doing, but she had done a coaching program as well. So she brought that back with her. So she had some very good ideas and ways that she knew she could move forward with her business. So she's implemented all of that. She done a really good coaching course. She started creating programs around how she could help specifically women actually in business. She is doing so well. She's won awards. She's just doing amazingly well.
That's amazing.
It's fantastic, isn't it? Can you share with us, how does quantum jumping differ from traditional meditation or visualization techniques?
I think the difference really is that you're specifically targeting your client's idea. So I'll have a conversation with my client. What is it that you want to do? Where do you want to be? What is your dream life? And then we specifically jump into that life so they can actually see themselves with that life, to make sure, first of all, that's something that they do want, but also they realize that it just doesn't happen overnight. You see someone, for example, with a hit record, that person has worked for years and years, taken loads of knocks, loads of rejection. You just see them having this hit. You've never heard of this person, and suddenly there they are with this hit record that everyone's singing. But they've done all the work. So it's about showing your client all the work that needs to take place to get to where they think they want to go. It's a very specific thing that I'm doing, taking them into this life. They're actually seeing it. They're walking around the house of themselves, their successful person that they are there. They're doing a tour of their house. They're seeing everything that they've got, how they live, who they live with, what car they drive, what that person's day looks like, what meetings are they having, what background have they got. So they're taking everything from that life. So it's very specific when you're doing quantum jumping. It's very, very specific.
Fantastic.
Enjoyed what you heard? There's more to explore. For full-length discussions, exclusive content, and easy-to-use tools designed to effortlessly support your authentic transformation, subscribe to our Patreon, The Golden Seams. Don't miss out. We welcome you to join our growing community and dive deeper into the topics you love. Experience The Golden Seams on Patreon and unlock the complete experience for yourself now.
So do they bring back the talents and abilities with them, or do they have the understanding and the vibration that they can cultivate them here and it transposes onto this life?
Well, I think actually it's a bit of both, to be honest. I think, first of all, if you see yourself as being successful, that's going to build your confidence up because you're seeing yourself doing these things and having the life that you want. And it's a realization that actually I can do this. I can live like that. You're bringing back that confidence. I get my clients to sit down with themselves and have a conversation with themselves. That successful them is telling them all their secrets and everything. So they're definitely bringing things back. They're bringing skills back. They're bringing confidence back, and they're bringing self-belief back. And I think that self-belief is the key to it. I know with Bert, he actually brought skills back with him, painting and playing musical instruments and all that kind of stuff. For my clients, it's not about that really. It's like manifesting, Ferrari manifesting, rather than Ford when you do normal meditation.
Definitely. It seems it can help a person potentially shift the direction or the trajectory of their life from where they are now to where they want to be. Is that consistent?
Yes, absolutely. It focuses their mind. And as I say, some people might do it and think, actually, this is too much work. I thought I wanted this life, and actually, I don't. It definitely can change the direction that you want to go in, can change the way you're thinking about things. You might think, I really want this, but then you see that life, you see what it involves, and think, oh, actually, maybe I don't want that life. It's a good exercise to do, really.
It's so interesting. My mind is just going nuts right now. Tell us about what are some common goals or challenges that clients seek to address through quantum jumping? Do people come to you with specific things? Has it ever happened where you've taken a client in and that isn't a life because this is the life where they're supposed to cultivate that goal?
No, I don't think so. I think most people that I would see are looking to change their lives. They want to make changes in their lifestyle, but mainly around themselves. It goes back to this confidence thing. They want to feel that they are successful. They might have a horrible job where they're working really long hours and they're trying to build something on the side, and it's draining, and they're just like, I can't see this ever working, and they're getting knockbacks. By doing the quantum jumping, they can see that it can succeed and that they can get there. Mainly, my clients come to me because they want change. They do want change in their lives. Whether it's that change when they go into that life and see it, it might not be that change, as I've said, but they definitely want to change. I would say the majority of my clients come to me because they want to be successful. They want to have a nice lifestyle. They don't want to struggle financially anymore. And they want to see how they can change their lives for the better.
I can even see where this could be applied. For example, if someone has a bad relationship with somebody and they want to shift that energy, whether
Yes.
it's a difficult marriage or a difficult relationship or a difficult relationship with a child or even a boss, right?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I have had a client, she felt very alone. She had a really awful marriage and she was on her own. She had children that lived quite far from her, a slightly strained relationship with those children because of their father and things that had gone on. She didn't have any real friends really, and she felt very isolated and alone, and she was desperate to, make a change in her life. We jumped into a life where she was successful and had lots of friends and had a lovely relationship with her children, and she saw that life, and she actually was able to make some changes in this life to help her. She saw that's what she wanted, and she was able to bring that back, and it really helped her with her relationship with her children, actually.
I love how it connects people to understanding.
It feels like an osmosis of some kind, getting to put yourself in this environment through the meditation where you're exchanging energies beyond even just the information, like the feelings that the version of you has.
Yes, I think you've hit the nail on the head there, actually, because it's about the feelings, isn't it? When people want to make change and they're trying to manifest stuff, if they don't see it, they don't feel it, it just doesn't work. But to be able to go in, have someone guide you into that, so you get the full view of it, you get the feelings as well as the view of it, you can't help but make a change then.
Amazing.
I also think it's fascinating how not only does it help a person unlock hidden talents, but also overcoming limiting beliefs. That is priceless.
Yeah. I don't know why it's not more popular, really. I don't think it's one of those things that people talk about enough, because it is so brilliant to do. It's when you take your client there and they're under hypnosis, they've got their eyes closed, but you can see their faces are like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And they're having that conversation with their self. And that conversation that they're having with their self can be very emotional. They're faced with themselves. That's quite something to see and do.
It's just fascinating and so powerful at the same time. My suspicion is that it's not used more because people don't understand it, which is what we're doing here. It's just fascinating, a fascinating technique and so helpful. I'm curious about if people have used this and found out they didn't want that life. How did that come about? For example, when you and we did a quantum jumping session, I guess I'll share this. It's hard to imagine that I was a bigger jerk in another life, but I was. And I said to Joe, I actually don't like that other version of me. Yeah, it sucked. Not the session, just the reality of, I thought I wanted that, and I definitely do not.
How good to get to experience that before all the time and effort commitments to manifest it, right?
What was bizarre was me jumping over to that life was actually me teaching that version of myself to be a better person.
Oh, wow. It's like Ghost of Christmas Past with Michelle.
And also, if I remember rightly, Michelle, you was like, I don't like her hair. So I'll never get that done to my hair. I think so. It was interesting.
Yeah, that's right. Oh gosh, you're right. I couldn't stand her hair. And then it wasn't that she was really a jerk. I guess I shouldn't say that.
No.
It was that she was the exalted English form of myself past my mother. God rest in peace, Mom, but still very much that person. And it was unexpected because we were going in to find a more successful version of myself out of curiosity. More, we were playing around, and yeah, I do remember that. Okay.
That's so funny that the hair was there too, changed all the details. That's amazing.
Yeah. So back to my question. Tell me how other clients, obviously I just put it on the shelf and said, I'm not doing that. But how have other people managed sort of processing that?
I think we all have a dream in our head, don't we? And we think, oh, this is the person that I want to be. But when you come face to face with that person, like you said, you might not like the way you're acting or that lifestyle or the work they've had to do, the amount of time it's taken them to get to that point. And also because they're having a conversation with that person, they're finding out everything about that person's life and what it's actually like to be that person. That's quite an eye-opener. Sometimes people might come back and say, well, actually, I don't want that success. I want to bring back this part of that. I want to bring back this part of it, but I don't want that part of it. So, when you're quantum jumping, you can absolutely pick and choose what you bring back and what you want to do and how you do it. It might give you ideas to do something different, totally different or slightly different, and you can adjust your goals accordingly. It's all worthwhile, even if you see it and you decide it's not for you, because hey, then you haven't put all that work in for so many years to get to there.
Right.
Straight away that's not for me.
And it's cool to get an opportunity to recreate with insight the trajectory and to get to shape it more precisely based on the experience in the quantum jump. I think that redirecting is so powerful too. It's like expediting our path.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's not a failure if you quantum jump into a life that you think you wanted and then it turns out you don't want that. That's not a failure. That actually is a win-win, isn't it?
huge. It's like a huge, it could save a lifetime almost. Like you could spend your whole lifetime accomplishing or going towards that goal, right? You could be
Yes.
saving yourself a whole lot of time
Yeah.
and energy. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That other version of myself was more my cold English mother, extremely distant and very cold. She had relationships, but they were not connecting. That's where we ended up spending time, was helping her open her heart to connect more.
Hmm.
When she shared with me about what it took to manage a life at those levels, it was like in those movies where they're like, bring me out, you know. I was like, Joe.
You're like pulling the rope. This is the escape rope.
Poltergeist, you know,
Yeah.
pull me out. I'm kidding. It wasn't like that.
Quantum Leap, the TV show that I used to
Quantum.
watch as a child, kind of what he used to like pull at the last minute, he used to get pulled out of the body. I think that explains it really well, actually. And you know, Michelle, by doing your quantum jump, I learned a lot from that session. Because up until that point, in my head, this was all about getting people to go and reach their goals. And, you know, it hadn't occurred to me that they might jump into that life and then go, oh, no, I don't like that. I don't like her and I don't like it. So that was a huge learning curve for me. And I think that's the other thing when you do this type of work, every client teaches me something, and what they're bringing back, I'm part of this conversation they're having, because they're saying what they're saying to themselves and they're telling me the answer. So I'm learning loads of stuff that's positive in my life from my clients doing it as well.
I
That's
absolutely love
amazing.
it. Yeah.
It's like souvenirs from hyperspace.
Yeah, it's amazing when you do this work, how that works though. When I do past life, we get the lessons of that life. They're lessons for everyone. I've got all those lessons written down, scribbled on bits of
Hmm.
paper all over the place, these lessons, because we can all use these lessons. They're profound and they're amazing.
Also, imagine building an entire life up again. You put that ladder up against that wall, you climb rung by rung, the degrees, the jobs, the house, the marriage, the kids, the cars. You check all those boxes and then you get to the top and I never even wanted to study that, or I'm not even doing what I did study, or my marriage is not where I wanted it to be. This is one of the most fascinating ways to jump to the top of that ladder and say, no, I'm
Hmm.
going to do it this way or that way, or I'm going to take these pieces. I love it.
Yeah, you can go, oh, actually, I'm going to do a bit of a swerve with that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it is fascinating. I really enjoy doing it. It's a great way to get people to see that they can achieve their dream, but equally, do they actually want to achieve that dream?
Yes. Tell us, Joe, are there any risks or limitations associated with quantum jumping?
There's no risks, as far as I know. It opens a whole new world to clients. It's a thing that no one would even believe they could do. And when they do it, they're completely blown away. I guess the only downside is if someone can't visualize, they're not great at visualizing, or they find it really difficult to relax and go into the hypnotic brainwaves, they're not going to be able to do it. There are things we can do to work on that. And I've had very few clients that I haven't been able to hypnotize. There have been some, but they're very few and far between. And as I say, sometimes the first time you do something like that, they're a bit like, no, I can't do this. So we'll work on that and come back together and try again, making sure your client is able to do it. But it's not dangerous in any way. It opens their mind to so much more. So for me, it's a very positive experience all around.
I actually think that it's one of the most powerful things that you can do for yourself. Very much so. Joe, tell us, what advice would you give someone skeptical about the concept of parallel universes and alternate selves?
I think this is a real trend, isn't it, for people to go for tarot reading or psychic mediums or past life or quantum jumping. It's a load of rubbish. It's not true. What I would say to someone that says that is, you can't prove it's real. No, but you can't prove it's not real. And actually, I don't have to prove anything. My clients get the most amazing experiences by doing it. And unless you try it with an open mind, you're never going to be able to experience something so wonderful. So actually, by being so negative about it, you're stopping yourself having these incredible things happen to you. And that's very closed, dismissive, not interested. That's fine, keep your opinion to you, but I have got nothing to prove. My clients have a fantastic experience. My proof is my clients, but they can't actually prove it's not true.
Yes. I always tell my skeptical clients when I'm working with them and they'll say, is that possible? Do you really think that's possible? I say, well, you believed in Santa Claus for 7 years of your life. I think you can hold on to this for a second, right? The other thing I say is, this is what your mind is presenting to you. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Your mind is bringing this forward for you for a reason. Allow yourself to have this good. It's empowering.
I think you've really said something there. It's about the trust. That's what I say to my clients. Trust the process. Just trust me, trust the process, and see where that leads you. Just have an open mind with it and see where that takes you.
Yes.
Feels like some sort of paradox with energy work where you only get out what you put in. So people who are skeptical and not ready to embark on it, it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got members of my family that go, oh, what a load of rubbish. You always get people that, okay, that's what you think, but what if it's not?
They're missing out. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if it isn't rubbish? What if it's true? Then what?
The implications are huge.
Exactly.
I want to ask if there are any additional memorable stories or experiences from your practice that highlight the power of this technique that you want to share with us.
I worked with someone that they really struggled to be hypnotized. As you know, that can be such a challenge because you're like, just please, just close your eyes and relax. So when that client is very difficult, but the joy of a client like that is when they finally let go and actually you take them in and they don't see anything to begin with. And you have to say, just tell me what's popping into your mind. Don't worry about seeing it. Just say the first thing that's popping into your mind. And they go, oh, I'm making this up. No, just tell me and then they start. And then suddenly they're seeing it visually and it opens up. That's my favorite client in a way, because although they're really challenging at first, and I'm like, oh my God, this is a nightmare. I can't deal with this client because it's not happening. And I really want them to have the experience. But when they actually start going into it and then they're seeing it and then they get so much from it. And then afterwards, they're just like, I can't believe it. I actually saw it. I could see it. I could feel them touching me. I could smell it. I could hear it. They're having that full-on experience. That's fantastic. That's my favorite client because they've really struggled and then suddenly they're in it and then they're like completely blown away by that whole experience. And they're the sort of clients that then go, right, well, I need to do this. I've got to do this. I'm writing a list. I'm working out. This is what I'm going to do. They're great experiences. I really enjoy that part of it.
It's so beautiful. How would you tie this into self-love? That's our theme. I can think of several ways, but I know that you can outdo me on anything that I could offer here.
So I think Self-love is about allowing yourself to dream, isn't it? It's about allowing yourself to think about goals and reaching those goals, giving yourself that time. And by doing something like quantum jumping, I mean, what better way to give yourself self-love than to allow yourself to have that experience, to see this parallel life and everything is there that you can achieve, and then bring that belief back in yourself, have that burning desire and belief and knowing that you can do it because you've seen it. There's no better self-love than that. And I think that's really important.
It's beautiful and amazing how it anchors in the worthiness.
Yes.
You're not just a witness, you experience it because it's you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we live in such a fast-paced world now, don't we? Everything's fast. You can look on all sorts of platforms. My daughter, she's 24, and she goes on those platforms and she's like, I'm like, are you even watching that video? She stays on it for about 10 seconds. I recorded a video that was 6 minutes and she was like, oh, boring.
No,
So
we've seen your videos.
yeah, they're boring.
No.
No.
So we're living in this really fast-paced world now, and everyone, you see these people, oh, I'm doing this, I've made this much money, I'm so successful, blah, 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 blah. We all know that some of it's not true, some of it's exaggerated and stuff. But to take that time out of your life, have that hour or so just to focus on you and see what you can achieve, go, okay, I don't have to be this fast-paced person doing all this stuff here, and I can take my time, I can do it, and I can take time out for myself.
So good.
I keep thinking about how the quantum jumping experience is making me reflect on sense of self as a whole, because there's like the us that's witnessing and experiencing this timeline, and then there's us that also goes into the other. Do you know, like there's this like all-encompassing self that's capable of being in this experience, going into the other experience, and integrating those two. It's like so big, the sense of self that opens up, I can imagine, through an experience like that, to hold all of that and to make sense of it and integrate it. That's so powerful.
You're absolutely right. It is a very powerful thing to be able to do. When you say it, it sounds crazy, doesn't it? You're saying to people, well, I can take you to another parallel life that you're living. It sounds crazy, but actually, it's just brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant.
It is. It makes so much sense. Everything, the foundation of the sense of self, like all the stuff that, for me, in my experience, has triggered self-development, self-exploration, and like learning, comes from the unknowns of the sense of self, even.
Yeah.
Another piece of it that I think is so powerful, people may not be aware of, is if you're able to jump to that alternate timeline or lifetime, you're closer than you think in vibration to actually having it happen for you in this one. So when you're there and you're experiencing this, FYI, you can very easily overlay that onto this timeline. When there are doppelgangers or any similarities like that, those vibrations are extremely close, or they couldn't happen. And we do know that.
Yeah, that's what Bert Goldman done. So he would talk about, I'm jumping in, I'm seeing my doppelganger, and he's an artist and he's teaching me how to. So that's exactly what he done with that vibration he brought back, and then suddenly was able to do it.
Very much so. Of course, my science nerd brain is just going bananas right now. Tell us, Joe, what do you believe is the future of quantum jumping in the fields of self-improvement and therapy? Any ideas on that?
My hope is that more people do it and experience it and get to see the possibilities with it. I know I've said it already probably about 10 times, but it is an amazing thing to do. The more people that do it, the better. They're going to live more fulfilling, happier lives. They're going to feel more confident in themselves. They're going to have more self-belief. and more self-love, really, because they're doing things that they love, that they want to do. And that's being kind to yourself, giving you that ultimate self-love by doing stuff that you want to do rather than feeling that you're doing things that you have to do.
Hmm.
So my hope is that more people hear about it, more people give it a go and experience it. And by doing it, bring back all this positive stuff and start achieving what they really want to do.
I'm excited because you've offered to do a quantum jumping session for us and for our audiences.
We invite you to join us as a member on the Golden Seams Patreon to hear the full interview with Jo and experience her fascinating quantum jumping session.
Tell us how members of our audience can schedule a private or group session with you. How can they reach you? What steps do they need to take?
I'm on social media. I call myself the Spiritual Gateway. So my website is thespiritualgateway.com, and you can book past life tarot readings and quantum jumping with me on there. I'm also on TikTok as the Spiritual Gateway, and I cover a lot of stuff on there. I do have an Instagram, but I'm not really on that one that much. So website or TikTok is probably the best way to connect with me.
Wonderful. I know that you have, because you do group sessions, but you also have other things. What else is coming up in your schedule?
Really excited to say that I am doing a theatre date in West Sussex. We've got a really lovely theatre. I've hired the theatre for one night, May the 6th. My plan is to get the whole audience, take them through a group past life regression, and then in the second half, choose someone that went back and had an experience, bring them on stage with me and do a one-to-one past life session. So the audience get to see the difference between a group session and the one-to-one.
You can get tickets from the theatre website, Checker Mead.
There are so many different ways to connect with you and to experience this. Very much so, in much more intricacy than what we're doing here. What you get out of it is phenomenal. I can say that firsthand. So thank you so much, Jo, for being here with us. And we're so grateful.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to talk for more than a minute about quantum jumping. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, both of you.
Thank you, Jo. That was awesome.
Thank you.
We're truly grateful for your presence and participation in this journey of self-discovery and personal growth. Remember, your path to authenticity and prosperity is unique, and we're honored to be a part of it. If you found value in today's episode, we invite you to like, subscribe, and share it with others who might benefit. Until next time, embrace your imperfections and let them be your greatest gifts.
This is Gabe and Michelle signing off from the Golden Seams. May you discover the courage to be vulnerable, the compassion to love yourself, and the wisdom to live wholeheartedly. May your path be golden as you find the strength to mend and beautify the broken parts of your life, weaving golden threads through the fabric of your authentic self, just like the art of kintsugi. We'll see you in our next episode.